Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your personalized reading for the week of April 25th to May 1st, 2022. This is a general reading, so take whatever resonates and leave behind for others what does not to get a deeper view into the week. Be sure to check out your readings for sun, moon, and rising signs. So in this first row over here, we are going to look at the energy you're leaving. And this says trust. In this middle row, we are looking at the core vibe of the week. It says peace. And in this final row, we are looking at messages from your future self. It says, unknown territory, you are exactly where you need to be. So it's almost kind of a concept of the Fool a bit, with kind of being open to a new experience and really just going with the flow in a way and allowing yourself to feel, that you're protected and not to have, anxiety about it, not knowing what to do next. So let's put some cards out for context. You have King of Swords, you have Justice, and you have 10 of Cups. Wow. All right. So these cards are definitely about trust, honesty, morality, happiness. For some of you, maybe you just got, married. There was some type of legal connection. Maybe it's a business partnership, something along those lines. We'll actually clarify these cards once I go through all of them. So let's take a look at this peace, which is the core vibe of your week. You have the Two of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. Well, definitely the Four of Swords is the most peaceful one of the three. It's definitely about withdrawing from any hoopla and kind of clearing your head, relaxing, just releasing, and getting ready for your next day, your next challenge, your next problem to solve. Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, this is like a sense of a stalemate and negotiating. So be interesting to see. There's the Two of Swords here. There's this concept of what's the word? Fear and anxiety involved in making a decision. And you can see this individual here in the Two of Swords has their arms crossed over their heart, and these really long swords, like too long to actually feel like they are light pixie sticks, and they're not showing the tips either. So, not even getting to the point. It's just heaviness and back and forth. And the sword cuts both ways, covering the heart. So this is really just looking at the facts of the situation. And really you just need to make a decision and be done with it and just be at peace with it. So let's see about this unknown territory. The Magician, 9 of Cups, Strength. So it seems like really these cards support this idea of you are exactly where you need to be. You are feeling, happy, confident. You are, stepping into your power with this strength card here. It's definitely reminding you to that your strength comes from recognizing all aspects of yourself and not trying to push away, shove aside, or hide any, characteristics, tendencies that you have, um, because they all serve a purpose. They all are there to kind of help you achieve whatever you're trying to achieve. Sometimes they're not useful, some aspects are not useful, and you just kind of thank them and say, hey, we don't need you now. Kind of like this anxiety over here. Anxiety is good when you're, having to be on your guard and possibly run away from a lion. But here in making a decision, anxiety doesn't really serve a purpose that is for your best and highest good. It just affects your stress level and makes it so that you are kind of stuck. But here it's just a reminder that you have the tools you need to succeed. You are a great communicator. You really are focused on what it is that you want. So, whatever it is that you are like stuck on, trying to negotiate, trying to figure out, and really, maybe even just like take some time, meditate, and, be okay. Actually, I'm going to clarify with a different deck. So, I'm going to go ahead and look at these cards. Okay. So let's take a look at we're just going to take these. They came out. I was going to say, let's look at the 10 of Cups. So you have the Ace of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. So perhaps, for some of you, it's a new business that you got into. This is about victory. It's also about truth. So perhaps you have some type of job where you are working on some concept of truth or trust. Perhaps you are like a counselor, an attorney, mediator, a writer, something along those lines, or someone in finance even, someone who's good at business. So let's take a look at this Justice card. You have the Sun. Basically, this is about definitely trusting that you're okay. This little new child on this white horse of purity here, with open arms. There's really nothing to hide. There's really just honesty and expecting, like, it's almost like the young version of the Fool, just like opening arms to the world and trusting everything is going to be great. And with the King of Swords, you have your card Temperance. It's about balance and being in a place of zen and peace, which is your core vibe of the week. So definitely, this idea of trust and being totally confident in trusting yourself, your judgment, your ability to communicate, your ability to succeed, your ability to recognize what's good for you and what's not good for you, even, and experiencing, you know, all range of emotions in this 10 of cups, even. So basically, seems like this trust that, the energy you're leaving, it was really solid. So let's see what's going on with why would you be leaving that? Why is there, like, it could be more that you're just not trusting yourself or your instincts. So I'm going to take a look at the Two of Swords first. You have the Hermit, which is definitely a sense of peace. It's more, this Two of Swords is, considered a stalemate. It's kind of, for some people, almost being comfortable in that anxiety of not making a decision. And the Hermit here, they are definitely, in a place of acceptance, and they just keep going. There's a fork in a road, they just choose one, the journey keeps going. And so here, it's almost as if you need to kind of just dig into the idea of knowledge is something you can learn, and wisdom is based on your experiences. So you need to make a decision, and if it works, doesn't work, either way, it's going to be a lesson for you to keep going. And with the Two Swords, odds are it's not a great outcome either way. So let's look at the Two of Pentacles. You have the Emperor here. So it could be, to some degree, balancing your responsibilities and having fun. Here there's family, but there's also a lot of, like, business and protection involved in here. And the Emperor is all about being protected as well. So there's something that you're negotiating. What's interesting is, like, with the Emperor and the Hermit, the Emperor has already experienced a lot. That's why they have this, like, these shin guards here. It's supposed to indicate that they, at some point were a knight. They've been on a journey, and now they are, they're wise enough, they're experienced enough, they have enough wisdom and authority to really rule over things. And the Hermit also has been on that journey. I always kind of wonder whether or not the Hermit is the Emperor who has, decided to relinquish their throne and pursue life, or it's if the Hermit is maybe, at some point could come back to be the Emperor. But that's for another day. So let's look at the Four of Swords. You have the Ace of Cups. So really, it seems, you just need to make a decision. You just need some time to, relax. You just need to recognize that there's always going to be competing priorities, goals that you're going to have to negotiate. You're going to have to readjust. But here, it's almost as if you just need to make your decision and just be at peace with it. You're going to feel a lot better, once you do that. So let's look at the Nine of Cups, because you have here this Ace of Cups and you got 9 over there. You've got the Knight of Swords. So you might be wanting to really rush and solve some problem. But you need to not do that this week. You need to kind of really recognize that everything's okay and to trust yourself and really just if you have that impulse to kind of get into this, King of Swords, need to make a decision, need to win, need to make things right, need to do something, pamper yourself a little bit. Or at least make sure the Knight of Swords has a plan, that the Knight of Swords takes a moment to breathe before running off. So let's take a look at the Strength card. You have the King of Pentacles. And then you have the King of Swords over here. So for some of you, it could be that you're questioning whether you should take on a new role, leave your job. You had this trust, like everything was pretty much protected, happy, victorious, and just in their like perfect paradise here. And then, here it's not so bad. It's just you need to really make the decision, put down those heavy swords, and take some time out. And not be too concerned about rushing in and making something right. And this is you need to kind of exhibit more King of Pentacles characteristics and energy, which is that they, like the King of Swords, but more so the Emperor, the King of Pentacles also has this like shin guard to indicate that they worked their way, they went through the experience, worked their way up to become, the king in this throne here. So it's here kind of like you need to have, the strength to follow this kind of pattern of, yes, you need to work hard, but you also have to have, boundaries. You also have to enjoy the hard work that you do in terms of the rewards that it brings out and enjoying those rewards. And also the King of Pentacles, they might move a little slower. They might be a little bit more, what's the word? Mundane, not as exciting, slower paced. So, and that's okay. So let's take a look at the Magician. You have a Star. So again, like you're going to have more balance. You're going to have a sense of clarity. You are really kind of this idea of hope even. You really are going to do great. You seem to be totally protected. You have like the smarts, you have the dedication, and you're good. You just need to kind of make whatever decision is, you're not wanting to make. Take some time for yourself. And honestly, if you have you have the Four of Swords, you have the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Swords. I'm not seeing anything that indicates that you have anything really to be worried about. Not seeing why this decision isn't being made, except if you're being like a perfectionist, wanting to make the right decision, wanting to make sure that like you don't, you know, you seem to be very sharp. You got lots of swords kind of here. So you just need to take some time for yourself and enjoy wherever you are, because it's exactly where you need to be. I'm hoping this reading provides a helpful perspective, and we'll see you next time. Take care.